Why, hello there, fellow prospectors. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Ostranauts, Fire in the Hold. Episode 28, Mining Asteroids for Company Scrip. So in order to build up reputation, or in order to build up money rather, with Galfed, I want to mine for them. Rather than to exchange all of my money for Galfed Scrip. Because if I did that, I wouldn't be able to refuel my ship and keep it running. Oh, that alarm freaks me out. Do I put on my helmet, or do I assume that this ship has stability? Helmet. Okay. So I'm gonna buy a mining laser and three power tool batteries. And then 3 Halverson... Oh, I guess 2 batteries. And then 2 recharge stations. Sending it to my barter zone. Well, that's not annoying. Actually, I'm going to buy some more batteries. 4 batteries. Yeah. Anything else I want? No, that's good for now. Except... 20k. Gotta spend money to make money. So why is the O2 alarm freaking out here? It shouldn't be. It was just below pressure. I think probably one of the idiots, went onto my ship and, my ship is vacuumed and freaked it out. Whatever. Alright, let's pick up these chargers and install them. And, I'm gonna install them right here. Right in my airlock. So I can quickly get batteries swapped to it. Alright, battery charger. This has none in it. Okay, so I'll have to load them up too. Pick up the other charger. And this is because the mining tools will burn through charge pretty quickly. Does that even have power? It does not. I need to install 1 conduit there. How is this light even on? That's part of my towing brace, I assume? Yeah. Okay. In that case... Nope, that's motherboards. This is cables. Conduit bin. That would help. Wait, what? Whatever. I was pretty sure I had 30 in there, but it's fine. Oh, all around the world. Yep. I'm missing a cable here. You know what? It blew out. It broke. I did get a micrometeorite strike. I must have. Interesting. Given that I just noticed that, let's go to the damage visor mode. Yep. That wall got hit hard. And this is exactly why you would want spare components for repair. So this conduit, I'm going to hit repair, and for that I need 1 electronic, 1 aluminum. So I'm just going to pick that up myself. I know I have spare conduits, but the reason why I don't want to use my conduit is kind of like a precious commodity now that we're here. As I explained, you really can't buy cables. So unless you're going to be blowing up enemy ships to take their cables, you should repair what you can rather than replace. And this is also a call to have redundant cabling for stuff. So, you know how most of my ship has redundant cables for everything? If I blow out a random corner, things are still running. That'd be a real problem if I didn't have redundancy. Alright, so the spare replacement parts have already helped. Sweet. Let's get batteries in the chargers. Kind of pointlessly, of course, because it should have full charge. Where is my other... Where's my mining lasers that I bought? What? What? Where'd they go? Where are they? I'm pretty confused. So we have the 6 microsats that I purchased, and they're here. They didn't go in the nested in the bag, no. I mean, I suppose I could buy more, but I don't know where they are. I'm gonna quickly open up my barter zone. Yeah, I don't have any weird errant barter zones. Right, all my barter zones are here. So I, truthfully, do not know where my mining laser went. It's not a super expensive item to have go missing. Like, it's not a big deal, but it's very strange that I can't spot it. It's really not here anywhere. And I'm 99% sure I bought it. So, okay, whatever. Let's go back and buy another one. You probably dumped into a container? Well, I checked all the containers. That's the thing, is I, like, checked the bins over here already. I mean, I could do it again, just to prove it, but screens bin has only screens. I already just checked the dolly. I checked the bag in the dolly for double nesting. The motherboard's bin is empty, or doesn't have it. The conduits bin doesn't have it. The motors bin didn't have it. And then the heatsink bin didn't have it. It's not nested. It's not anywhere. I could pick up the beacons to see if they're, like, somehow under the beacon, but they're not supposed to stack like that. I could try to sell it. Yeah, that's a good point. Go to the kiosk and see if it's even in the zone. It says it is. So it's somewhere in there? I call for a save and load. 'Cause it's invisible or something. Okay. Give me my laser. Is it next to the water flask? It's a known bug. Okay. If it's a known bug, it's a known bug, right? Before I do the load, I'll check to see if you guys are right about where it physically is. You had batteries in your fridge once? That's funny. I mean, my fridge isn't in the barter zone, so... No, that's an O2 bottle. If you're wondering what that is. Just an extra O2 bottle. I mean, I suppose I could check, like, my fridge. It'd be a super weird place for it, but no, it's not in the fridge. Not in this bin. Not in that bin. Not in that bin. It's not in any of my internal bins. Yeah, I'm just gonna load. See if that fixes it. Worst case scenario, I just buy another one and have it go into my inventory, not on to my barter zone. And then, you know, I should be holding it. In fact, if I had the president's mind to, like, click that yellow alert marker, chances are there was a bug related to that. So, once we get out to the asteroid belts, I'll start talking about mining in earnest. But essentially, the two factions are fighting over minerals, and minerals is... Big picture, Ceres doesn't really have any derelicts. Ceres has a bunch of people trying to make money mining, and then enforcers trying to enforce land claims over the mines. And the war zone is between the, like, security forces between both sides, and then and the shipbreakers that are siding with one faction or the other. So essentially, if you work for one faction, you are working actively against the other faction. And you have to pick who you're going to back. So I don't see it anywhere. I'll just buy another one. Probably under satellite. Yeah, maybe I will find it under satellite, but it's not a lot of money. I don't care enough, so give it to me and give me 2 spare batteries. So I'm buying up all their batteries. All right, at this point, I'm just gonna flatly say no more backseating. I don't want help trying to find it. And comments related to trying to find it will be ignored. I'm moving on. You should too. So now that I have all the physical items that I feel like I need out to go into the yard, let's go there. So the mining laser allows you to mine stuff, and the Halverson mining laser is more ergonomic than the GOT one. The GOT one is like a jackhammer, and the Halverson is like a laser. So then let's... I might have... No, I've already paid my fees. Perfect. So let's go ahead and decouple from Beaster and head out into the field. And then I'll talk about the details about mining. Alright. So because of the gravitational pull, I'm in microgravity, not zero gravity, or like less than microgravity. We are going to be pulled back into Ceres unless we get escape velocity, essentially. So that's another thing to consider when you're here in Ceres, is you have to break escape velocity for the gravitational, influence. And I don't want to use up all my... As you can see, I'm decelerating, and then I'm decelerating because of the pull from Ceres. So my relative velocity to the port is decreasing, but on my current trajectory, I will break the wake zone. And then I'm going to be using my torch drive for thrust rather than my my nitrogen thrusters. Did that guy just crash in an asteroid? I don't know. Nutty people be nutty. Oh, actually, you know what? I gotta go a little faster. There we go. Because I was looking at the... Whoa, Jesus, what was that? One complaint, big complaint I have with the Ceres zone, and maybe we'll get patched or fixed or whatever, is, and this is a spoiler, so I guess it'll be blue for the duration of the spoiler, but, like, a spoiler all the same. Enemy ships, or all the ships, but including enemy ships, pull G-force maneuvers that would absolutely kill you. Which is to say, unless you plan your approach for combat, other faction mining ships can, like, run away from you. Oh, good God. Can run away from you way faster than you can pursue. What am I hitting? I don't see anything. Oh, you. Wow. D2R2 is... CPO3 gonna come next? That's gotta be a reference. So yeah, that's the end of that spoiler. Alright. First thing I want to do is to get out to the asteroid field. So there's 2 radar signatures to be concerned here. Here's one of them. And if you click it, as you can see, this is a ship that's just far enough away that I don't know its transponder data. And I know they're really small. Let's go to map controls. But they're like rectangular in nature. And then the dots are asteroids in nature. And not all dots are the same. So before I even go out to the asteroids, let's put the dirt in. Or dirt, whatever. And this thing scans asteroids for their quality. And if we want to help Galfed with their land claims, let's go to like this cluster here. If you click on the beacons, you can see their land claims. And dropping a beacon where there's already claims is not going to be particularly helpful. So I want to claim this cluster of asteroids for Galfed. So that's where I'm headed to now. So let's do RCS maneuvers to get us there within a reasonable time frame, because waiting 6 hours is going to be boring. With that said, there is absolutely going to be a lot of... I'm in an asteroid belt. So there's absolutely going to be threats to crash into on the course there. And you have to be very careful not to careen into asteroids as you traverse the belt. So I'm going to approach it like 2 kilometers a second, maybe. And then fix my cross velocity with nitrogen thrust. Big picture here. You can only go forwards with your torch drive. So small adjustments left and right, especially for combat. Because imagine all your guns are on the front of your ship pointing forwards. You can't do high velocity maneuvers backwards because your torch drive only moves you forwards. So if you want to go hit the brakes hard, you're on nitrogen gas only, right? Because you don't have a torch drive pointing in the opposite direction. So keep that in mind, that big delta V maneuvers should probably be done with your torch drive, and then smaller combat maneuvers and mining maneuvers should be done with your RCS. The other thing I wanted to do is to pull the long-range course plot out. I don't need it. And then to put the mooring control in. I will need that. Because mooring control is required for asteroid mining. So here we go. We are heading out to roughly here. And all these gray squares or other mining ships zipping about, moving at like 15 Gs that would absolutely crush a human. So I don't really fully understand how they manage it, but I digress. And as we get closer to these asteroids, I'm going to point out which ones are worth mining, because not all asteroids are the same. Some suck. Some are worthless, and you should ignore them. And once we're close enough to them, I can also spin around and try to get them on radar. Yeah, here we go. So, right here at the Dyart, we have the main composition: dark core, regolith, stony core, and veins: dark core, regolith, stony core. There are essentially like 4 main types of asteroids. There's dark core, regolith, stony core, and shiny core. Shiny core is the good stuff. Stony core is okay. Regolith and dark core, just don't waste your time. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to go into a dense asteroid belt and try to find shiny core asteroids, because they're just worth a whole lot more. How long until I get to this point? 3 minutes? Okay. The other thing I wanted to do is to prep my dolly for this. So I'm going to pick up the dolly and dump the repair components into my reactor so that I have an empty dolly that can hoover up mining stuff. Because I do intend to use the dolly for mining. All right. Yeah, they need to enforce brakes for NPC ships. Like G-force limits, because it's stupid. It's just stupid. All right. I could actually drop a claim here. Yeah, let's do that. So, you can point backwards and like try to drop a microsatellite out the back, but I will say anecdotally, I have sometimes smashed into my own microsatellite, you would assume that it would like drift at the same speed, but like for game reasons, because it's supposed to be a stationary satellite relative to the asteroid belt, you drop it and it instantly becomes 0 meters per second. So if you try to drop it when you're moving, you can end up like, you know, blowing up your own ship. So basically come to a stop, ideally, in order to drop a microsatellite. So I'm going to drift a little bit more closer to this cluster of asteroids over here, and then come to a relative stop and drop it in this grouping. Ooh, and perfect. We have a shiny core right here. This so ideally what you're looking for is you're looking for a cluster of asteroids that has a chance for shiny core and a vein of shiny core, because shiny core veins are worth a lot of money, and that's the ideal. So now I'm going to drop a microsatellite next to this asteroid and then mine this asteroid for its resources. All right, that's good enough. 17 meters a second isn't going to damage the ship. So helmet on. Grab one of the beacons. And yeet it into space. Deploy for Galfed. Oh, and it hit the ship anyway, because I was moving. If I open up my visor for damage, it didn't really do very much. So I don't really need to worry about that. But yeah, you can see why I warned you about that. Now, let's see if it actually worked. Head into the faction ties, and as you can see, I gained 4.8 for Galfed, and lost 4.8, because it's a zero-sum, more or less. Well, it's not exactly zero-sum, but it's sort of zero-sum-esque with Ceres, resource extraction. So I'm building up rep for Galfed, because that's the faction I want to rep. And now, let's go ahead and tether to the local asteroid that I liked. And as you can see, there it is. This is a Galilean Confederacy beacon that I deployed. And then if I click on this asteroid, this is claimed by Hunter Elliot, my character, for Galfed. The faction is Galfed, and the personal claim is me. So I have contributed to Galfed's land grab, in other words. And that's the name of the game here. Alright. I'm just going to use... It's not that far away, so I'm going to use nitrogen gas to just sort of zip over to the asteroid. And then I'll show you asteroid tethering and vein fighting and the like. So the mooring controls on the right side of the screen. Whoa, hello, cowboy. Dear Lord. Also, because I'm very close to the Galfed base, most of the ships around me are going to be Galfed ships. Not all of them. And then, not only that, but the Galfed ships might actually bug me. They might try to threaten me with boarding or whatever. Because I'm neutral to them, so I'm still an outsider. And they might not treat me well until I build up my rep with them. Until you really take sides. So if one of the Galfed ships are like, hey, you pay me 10k or I shoot you, you know, it's a shakedown. Alright, we'll be there in just a little bit. Whoa! So this is what I'm referring to. Like, this thing here is moving at like 82 like 15 kilometers a second. And once they get to like the Ceres base, yep, now 7 kilometers a second. In like a few seconds, they just dumped all of their relative speed. Like, that is G-forces that would turn a human body into a liquid. That's what I was complaining about before. So the asteroids that you have here are not boarded, because there's no boarding an asteroid. They're tethered. They're moored, in other words. And they will not throw alarms on, so be cautious. There's no, like, proximity alerts for them either. And now that I am within the relative velocity of under 50 and the distance of under 2.5, I can align tether. And I have docked to this asteroid. So if I get up from my chair here, throw on my mining laser. As you can see over here, let me change the vision modes. There is a shiny core asteroid right here. All right, picking up the dolly. And let's go EXO over to the shiny. Now, initially, I think I'm going to just manually mine like this. But eventually, I might use, like, orders. I just wanted to let you know, I know you could do mining orders. Right? Like if you want to mine, you can just say, hey, mine, and then drag. But I'm doing it manually to start. So what you're looking for in here is every material has a different sale price. And Gangu and Regolith are not worth much. You are looking for high value stuff. You can also mine like the bottom. So I'm mining a tunnel, but I can also mine like the bottom stuff to mine all the way through. And I wouldn't necessarily say that that's like really worth it to mine like that. So I tend not to. And what we're looking for is we're looking for a shiny core in here, which is frequently in the middle. And that will allow us to extract a hell of a lot of valuable resources. You can make a lot of money this way. If you get like palladium. Oh, here's some silicates. Let's pick those up. They're not worth tons, but they're worth something. Here's some olivine. And this is how to build up money in Ceres. Money in Ceres is mostly from mining or ship combat, not from salvage rigs. And occasionally, rarely if you're lucky, you'll find resource veins, often in the middle or around somewhere in the middle of these asteroids, which will have a vein of rich resources to extract, which are going to be the real money makers. That's going to make 90% of the money that you make from these mining efforts. So I'm not even going to bother mining all the way through. Oh, there was iron here I missed. I'm going to look for veins. And veins are like a 2x2 subsection that you'll be able to spot. And not all of the asteroids will have veins. Another important thing to note is I've used up 80% of my battery so far, which is why I bought so many battery chargers and spare batteries, because I knew that I was going to go through them frequently and quickly. And then there is a skill related to extraction. So here I have extraction or excavation 1%. Given the low power warning. Normally the shiny cores that I'm at are not this big. This is like one of the largest ones I've ever seen, which is just actually harder to search as a consequence. And is that the olivine ode to Vintage Story? No, all of the minerals in Vintage Story are real life ones. Vintage Story doesn't make anything up. So that's a real mineral, and it's a mineral that like absorbs carbon well, I think. which makes it a good filtration medium for like life support systems. And if you mouse over the materials, it will say that. A magnesium iron silicate common in asteroids, appearing as translucent green, brittle quartz-like crystals that easily weathers and absorbs CO2. And then silicates, you know, silica type stuff that are in asteroids, and then meteoric iron. This is an ode to another game. It's just the type of stuff you'd find in asteroids. So I'm thinking there's no special vein in this asteroid. I'll do a few more side tunnels. I don't want to do a complete run because I'm looking for something that isn't there more than likely. And if you really wanted, you could pick up all the regolith, you could pick up all the dengue, but it's like worth pennies on the dollar. It's not really worth this time, space, or whatever to hoover all of it up, so I'm not going to bother. I also had mentioned that stony cores can be okay. You can find shiny extraction sites in stony cores, so I'll spend a little bit of time, once I do some battery swapping, a little bit of time poking into that shiny core, or the stony core here, that could host a shiny core inside. But generally, the way I like to spend my time mining, if I'm mining at all, is to go into the shiny cores for shiny veins. Because everything else is just very much a waste of time, power, energy, effort, etc. Yeah, I wonder if they're going to end up adding a smelter. It wouldn't necessarily be all that unreasonable, I think, to introduce like full smelting to be able to, you know, make your own ships or whatever. So let's quickly do a battery swap. And then, oh, God. I think I'm being attacked or something. Hang on a minute. You are from Galfed, and what did you say? Stand down or be destroyed. Agree? I wasn't standing up, so I'm not really sure what you're on about. Offer me money. Here's 10K. Convince me. Okay, here's another 10K. As I said, shakedown. I'm feeling nice today, fine, and he's standing down. Yep, I don't really belong to any specific faction, so I'm going to be messed with. Until I have weapons of my own. And then I'm going to shoot anyone that well, maybe not Galved, but I'll shoot all the enemies that bother me. And that's the eventual goal. Alright, let's switch the batteries around and get back to treasure hunting. Two fresh batteries, the dolly, and I'll try stony cores. Now, I don't have high hopes for these stony cores, but like I'll do them anyway, just to show you sort of the yield difference that you might experience. Yeah, next time I'll send them 20k missiles. The thing is, once you blow up their ship, or disable it, and board them, then you can get real money, because ships with weapons have expensive parts, generally. And I'm going to say there's probably no, like, vein in here. I'll check the other one. And I'm really only just looking for the middle, because in my anecdotal experience, almost all the veins are roughly in the middle. So if you mine to the middle, you're likely to find them. Alright, let's bust on out of here. Did enough of this. Again? Yo, how many shakedowns am I gonna be freaking subject to? You freaking jerks. I will crash into you! Alright, what now? Oh, okay, there's someone else? No, okay. Nothing happened. No shakedown. Just cool. Alright, before I leave this asteroid, let's, oh, here's another shiny core. So I'm gonna go to this one next. So, drop the tether. Shush. Point to the next one, which is this one. And start the transfer burn. And just hopping from high potential value to high potential value asteroid is definitely the way to go. Don't waste your time on any of the crummy ones. So, crummy, good, crummy, 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 crummy. Right. You're looking for shiny core vein. That's the good stuff. You get a nice shiny core vein, you might get 100k. You hit a regolith core vein or a regolith vein, you're gonna get like 5k. And you know, no one needs more regolith in an asteroid belt. They need palladium, they need gold, they need iridium. You know, they need rare earth minerals. They don't need dirt. Trying to sell dirt to asteroid belters is not gonna go very well. And who are even these people? Well, it's an active war zone. So I'm in a war zone mining, and yeah, there's gonna be foot soldiers in the war zone that like mess with me. It's just par for the course. It's the operational cost of being here at Ceres. So I'm moving a little bit too fast to tether with this, but I'll slow down in here in a second. And again, it's the mooring controls in the green. So you're looking at speed and relative distance, and it's very forgiving, right? Like 50 meters a second is not slow. But it's a video game. It doesn't have to be realistic. Alright, aligned. Done. Will I have more shakedowns? Now, the thing is, I'm being shaken down by the ships that are, like, in the vicinity. And once a bunch of them make contact, I'm not likely to hear from them again for a while. So the frequency that I've experienced so far is higher than usual, just because I'm, like, new to the zone. So you shouldn't think that, like, oh man, they're really messing with you constantly. Like, yes, but, like, this is an atypical amount just because it's like, I'm new here. So, you know, a little bullying for being new or whatever. I do find it funny how you can, it, like, shows the asteroid broken, not mined. If you open up your damage overlay, it's like you've punched the asteroid or something silly. Alright, come on, shiny vein. Help me out. Yeah, a little hazing, exactly. I was looking for the word hazing, and my brain just didn't give it to me. It hazed me. Ooh, two things. So I'm just going to do some simple, like, poking around for the middles and not completionist going forward. I don't know how many asteroids are in this belt, but it's functionally kind of infinite because there's just so many. But I will look for veins in the other stony cores, just hopefully to be able to demonstrate what you're likely to get for yield for stony versus shiny. Do you sell off at the faction terminal? There's a bunch of different places to sell it off. You can sell it off as Scrip to the faction terminal. You can sell it off for USD to the faction terminal. You can sell it off if you don't. Oh, here we go. Here's a shiny core. Perfect. So this is what it looks like. The sort of wavy lines at the bottom. So I'm going to mine it out around it. And then right click. Mine that shiny core. Oh, baby. Extracting. Oh, it's low on batteries. All right, swap. So now we've removed the layer of regolith or whatever over the shiny core, and I just got palladium. And I just got gold. And as you can see, this is roughly in the center of the asteroid. So let's time accelerate. And if you right click on it, you can see like the damage or whatever that you're doing to the shiny rock core deposit. Indicating the, the progress. So some wolfram, some more gold, some cobalt, more cobalt. Silicates, iron, you can see the log. In the chat log area. Ooh, more palladium. More palladium. I like it. Thank you for tuning in to Ostranauts, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. I am not, however, looking for feedback. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow shipwreckers.